this is linking me to like some Reddit type of thing. Okay, it's bringing me to a Twitter. So I don't know if this is true at all. So let me see. Where is it at? My bad. Sorry, Chad. I'm trying to figure this out. Oh, okay. All right. All right. So, chat. A little bit more on the Andrew Tate thing, and I told you I would talk about Andrew Tate. My bad. What the fuck was this? Okay, my bad. Sorry, chat. A little bit more on the Andrew Tate thing. I think this guy's like a reputable source. I think. I'll click on his profile that you guys could look at him. You could tell me. His name is Mario Nawfal. No bias, no echo chambers. He's a host at Roundtable, founder and CEO of. He doesn't really say he's. Nothing says he's really that reputable, but he's coming with new information, which we'll see. I've seen him tweet about this Tate thing consistently and whatever. Anyway, he says new eerie details are emerging about Tate brothers' investigation file issued by the Bucharest court. As per the court investigation document, the Tates pick up young women under the pretext of starting a love relationship, which resulted with person being taken to a house with other girls and forced to produce videos that were later posted on adult websites for a fee. The victims of the Tate brothers told the prosecutors that when they first arrived to the suspect's villa, they were met by armed guards. Their role was to put pressure on the women so that they never took a break from work and they were doing on the adult sites. By the way, it kind of trips me. Wait, I know that the Tates had armed guards before they got onto this Hustlers University shit, but according to these guys, they're saying they did. Let me keep reading. Besides serving as cam models, the girls were also made to do other things such as moving money or illegal items like documents. It didn't stop there. Romanian investigators have further obtained shocking statements from women who were allegedly recruited by the Tate brothers. Reportedly, they admitted they were forced to get tattoos with the message owned by Tate. We've heard this a bunch. Again, we haven't seen any pictures or exhibits or whatever, like in courts what we call exhibits. We haven't seen any pictures of this, but supposedly some women got tattoos on their inner thighs that said owned by Tate. We've heard this, but we haven't seen pictures. So could be false, but we've never heard this info before. Anyway, let's keep reading. Gabriela Groza, a forensic psychologist, quoted in Romanian media, human traffickers are people who have more pronounced psychopathic traits. They don't feel remorse. They don't feel regret. They either blame the victims, disregard them, or place responsibility elsewhere. The Tate brothers' attorney says all of DICOT, whatever you want to call it, allegations are false, and that the victims allegedly produced pornographic material to make money for them. This is a source here. So what are your thoughts about the new revelations? And then he continued by saying, prosecutors have obtained wiretaps in which Andrew Tate recounts how he broke the law and how he took advantage of the women. Apparently, this is from a wiretap. I don't know if this is true, but this, unfortunately, with Romania, Reuters and AP, which are the pretty much the most reputable news sources, they don't give two fucks about like some place like Romania, so we have to get it from other places. Anyway, they say this is from a wiretap. Andrew Tate says, "You're not stupid, and you could probably guess how I made so much money. I have to hide what I'm really doing." The victim says, "Webcam?" Tate supposedly says, "I've been doing this for a long time with a team of girls working on video chat. The company was fake, but this is how I laundered my dirty money. Some of the girls work for me. I use them to do other things, to move money or illegal things, documents, etc." I'm going to be honest with you, though. I'm not trying to call this nigga a liar, but who talks like this? It's no way Andrew Tate just literally just said, "Yo, what I'm doing is illegal. I've been laundering money." Like, that's what this wiretap is alleging, that Andrew Tate admitted to someone, it looks like a victim, that his whole operation was to launder money and to move illegal things, and that's how he's making his money. Maybe not the webcam stuff. I just think that's like seems far fetched. You know what I mean by far fetched? It just seems even the biggest idiot wouldn't just tell some random person, "You could guess how I made so much money. I have to hide what I'm doing." Like, what the fuck? If you're hiding what you're doing, why would you tell someone who you're probably getting over on, according to all the government shit? The government is saying this victim he's trying to get over on. Why would he tell her that, yo, I have to hide what I'm doing? If you're trying to get over on her and you're trying to make her feel like you don't have no other shit going on and it's supposed to be secret. Anyway, then this, I've been doing this for a long time. Girls working for video chat. The company was fake, but I launder my dirty money. Like, who talks like this? The company was fake, but that's how I launder. Why would Andrew Tate tell a victim this? Sounds crazy. I don't know. Somebody said, watch Bruce Rivers. He admits to many crimes. Let me see. Bruce.
And also check your DM. I sent you a piece that they made with about vice and shit.
Let me see this.
Perhaps you 5 months ago, and I told you that Andrew Tate is going to be on Limit Your Movement. And so let's kind of look at one of his very first videos that he did. These are his words, not my words. And I'm going to play it, and I'm not going to take it out of context. We'll play this. Let's just make sure I'm not taking things out of context.
When you say webcam company, people assume, oh, it's just a sex fest. But in reality, it's a shitload of people management. The HR category of the webcam business is the largest and most important thing. You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you.
So you're making sure that you're teaching girls how to make a shit ton of money and give it all to you. Now, this is one of his first instructional videos. A lot of guys, he's got a lot of fans. And a lot of guys think, oh, in order to have some wealth, you have to have a Bugatti, you have to do this, you have to do that. In order to have wealth, you have to have self-pride. You have to know who you are as a person. And where do you get that from? You get that from building, as I've always said. So I do two things. I like to be motivation for younger guys and women for that matter, who are looking at maybe a possible direction in their career. So I like to motivate people in a very positive way. But the other thing I do is I do offer a legal analysis of what's going on here. Right off the bat, he tells you that his main goal is to have them work for him and him get all the money.
Webcam studios everywhere. There's one webcam studio down the road called Studio 20 with 100 rooms. 100 rooms, 8-hour shifts, 3 girls a day. That's 300 girls a day working, and they all work on LiveGasming. So if you're going to go on LiveGasming, you're going to be competing with big-time guys. And what you want to be competing with is people at home in their bedrooms. You don't want to be competing with serious businessmen, because I know for a fact Studio 20, the owner of Studio 20 and the owner of the website itself, LiveGasming, are friends, and they've got some kind of backhander agreement. So all the Studio 20 girls appear high on the webpage. They appear at the top of the page. Obviously, if you're going to go on there, you don't want to scroll down 10 pages to find a girl. You're going to go to the girls in the first row. All his girls appear high up because he's giving the guy a backhand. It's all this shady business. It's a huge competition market.
So you can see his main thrust is just making money. And he doesn't give a shit how he does it, really. He's going to tell you in a second here the origin of the story. And he's repeated these same concepts through multiple interviews, right? And so when you say I'm taking things out of context, we've sourced this and sourced this and sourced this, and he's repeated it multiple times. Is something when you hear who he wants to compete. He doesn't want to compete with the main factories. He wants to compete with the girls that are at home. So that gives you an indication that he's going. It's like in nature, I suppose. It's you go after the weakest.
Now, I've told very shortly my story, how I kind of started my whole webcam business. I'll tell it again in detail here. I was fighting. I had some money. I had 70,000 pounds in a safe in my.
One of our viewers had indicated that he's gotten most of his money from fighting. He had 70 grand, 70,000 euros or pounds or whatever he had, and that was it.
Bedroom in my house. I wanted to buy property in Thailand and moved to Thailand. I needed 80,000. I was 10 grand short, and I thought I'd go to the casino and make the 10.
That's also telling. Hey, I'm going to go to the casino and try to make money when he's not even a gambler. Guys, stay away from the casino. There's a reason that they're so big.
Which was obviously, we all know how that story went. So I lost 30, so now I needed 40. I needed it quickly. So I was sitting there trying to find a way to make money. So how can I make money? And what I did was, I said to Tristan, I'm literally not leaving my room until I have a way for us to make more money. Because I can only fight so many times per year, and I know their income. So I got a pen and paper, and I was on YouTube, like researching, you know, how people make money, what millionaires have, and they kept talking about assets. And I was sitting there thinking, what assets do I have? You know, I'm trying to buy a property. I mean, I didn't own a property in the UK at the time.
Now, think about the word asset. What is an asset? Well, I suppose this hat is an asset. It's not worth much, but it's really the brand is worth a lot more than the hat is. But what is an asset? The office, the building, you know, your brand, those are assets. Things that you own are assets.
Times I didn't pay any tax to anyone. I didn't want to pay taxes, so I didn't buy a house to confirm me. So I was like, what
And keep in mind, keep that tax theme in the back of your head.
assets do I have? Okay, I have a car, I have this, I have that. And then I realized,
All right. Wait, hold on. There's another video that was a little bit more like this shit's too slow, man. We gotta get straight to the shit, man. Let me see if I can get to it.
So let's first take a look from his own words, what he says.
Found this little webcam thing. So I text all my girlfriends. They're all coming here to live with me and work with me. All 5 flew in. This bitch. I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chick. And you're going to stay here and we're going to make some money. 3 left, 2 stayed. And we started this little webcam business from my apartment. Got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations. I had one girl and she got too drunk one day and she threw up in my apartment. I told her to clean up. She refused to clean up. Started being an idiot. So I took her stuff, threw out the window. If all the other girls see me be disrespected, they're going to lose respect for me. Fact. I didn't want to fire her, which is more reason why I had to fire her ass. Got her shit out the window, so throws out the window. Got her by her 2 arms and marched her out the door, locked the door. Text me, you owe me my last month's wages. I ain't paying you nothing. She went to the police and told the police I hit her.
This is how it starts. This is how law enforcement involvement with him starts.
5 in the morning, 4 months later, and I heard the door, boom, boom, and I heard police. There's a few things I can't say in the podcast. I've lived a varied life.
That is a form of self-snitching. That indicates that there's things out there that are illegal that he's done.
I've done some things when I had to pay the bill. What's this gonna be? So I like,
Here's my problem with this whole thing, though. Yo, Tate to me is like a comedian, bro. This is why, like, you know, I say a lot of stuff that's kind of tongue in cheek too, and this is why, like, I'm about to just do stand up just to like, cause like, no, I'm being honest, bro. When I listen to Tate, I laugh. Like, I'm not listening to him thinking that he's just only speaking everything factual. Bro, I think he knows how to tell us. Yo, you ever seen a guy who knows how to tell a story, and maybe the heart of the story is true, but he knows how to add the flash and the flair. That's what I think about Tate.
That's what I think about you. That's why I be laughing when you say it. You be like, I know you serious. That's why I'm laughing though, because it's you.
All right, good. But that's what I'm saying. So now, like I'm watching this lawyer guy, like, kind of going over his words, like, oh, he's super serious. I'm like, yo, bro, nigga, the way he's saying this it's funny.
I flushed my phone down the toilet quickly.
Like, come on, he didn't flush his phone down the toilet. He's capping, he's joking. Like, come on, bro.
Him up, bro. Act. Remember when you did the interview with him? Like, that's the first time I ever seen that dude. He did talk about corruption and not a joking way.
Bro, why you? Oh my God, you niggas,
Evidence.
man, I
Flush
hate.
my phone down the toilet.
So I'm trying to hide shit. I'm looking around. Like, why do I have to hide this?
Yo, here, let me tell you this. You see, a guy like Andrew Tate, I want to explain to you what type of guy he is. Yo, a nigga like Andrew Tate goes into any room, and he's a storyteller. He says whatever to get the room. Look how these niggas, like, you know, these are my guys too, but like, look how Myron and Fresh are laughing uncontrollable. He got them in the palm of their hands, bro. That's why I say it's like, this is like almost like comedy to me. Because that's what you need to do to make, you could tell him anything at that point. He could be like, yo, and after I flush my fucking phone down the toilet, an elephant pops in. Like, and they'll be like, what? bro, they're gonna believe it just because, bro, you're good at telling stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
You
not
know why we
Yeah.
believing.
believe it? You wanna know why we believe it? Because he walked around saying, "Nah, I fuck with corruption. Like that's why I live in Romania." That's what he said.
No, no,
Yeah,
he
but
did.
we don't think that
Come
was the
on, man.
real reason why he
No, I
lived there.
the first time I ever seen this man before he was doing all this extra like chauvinistic like trolling and like content creation and shit. When you first did that interview with Act, you can play the clip. It's your interview. The man was talking about corruption in a very toned down, not over the top way, where it's like, oh, this
All
is
right,
definitely
hold on.
this.
All right, Kyrie, I'm glad you said that. So I'm not sure what he said verbatim on when I did a podcast with him, but I've heard him talk about corruption in this sense. He said, listen, listen, the entire world is corrupt, right? And I'm kind of giving a theory of what I believe is his theory. So tell me if you fundamentally disagree. Because I actually agree with this. He's like, yo, put like this. He's like, yo, if he gets pulled over, he has to go to court, this and third. If somebody who's really high up in government gets pulled over, they get let off with a warning. You get what I mean? Basically, it's about who you know, how plugged in you are when it comes to the United States, because every place is corrupt. He says he'd rather live in Romania, where no matter who you are, if you get pulled over, if you want to get out of it, yo, you got to get them niggas $300. And he's like, yo, if the barrier of corruption is just cash, I'm good, because now I got 300. Maybe that politician got 300. We all got 300. So I'm afforded the same type of, oh, look the other way. But when you're in America, it's all about, hey, are you plugged in with the people who are in power? Oh, did you donate to somebody's campaign? That's how you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So just because he's saying that publicly is bad, but niggas is living, these politicians and these cops is living by that shit every single day. So because he's saying it publicly is bad,
yo, think about this whole Jeffrey Epstein shit, right? Jeffrey Epstein shit is like so like elusive and it's such a mystery, because you know why? Jeffrey Epstein was in cahoots and in bed with the same motherfuckers who run the fucking country and who got all the money.
So let's first take
You get what
a
I
look.
mean? So now, imagine you did some Jeffrey Epstein shit. By the way, we don't condone that type shit, right? We didn't condone it even when Jeffrey Epstein did it. But if you do it, you're getting fucking lynched. They're grabbing you out of your job or wherever you at, and they're bringing you in. They're gonna parade you around as some fucking demented motherfucker. He's just saying he'd rather go somewhere where like the corruption and the selective politicking, to use Wax's word, of the world is not based on who you know or who you got dirt on. It's like, bro, just give us, just pay us off and we don't give a fuck. With shit. Why wouldn't you want to live like that? Am I tripping?
no, you ain't tripping at all, nigga. Just facts. Like,
Let me finish playing this video.
Hey, shit, I'm looking around. Like, what do I have to hide?
I'm hiding shit. I'm destroying evidence. One of the problems that you have with a guy like this is there's a treasure trove of statements that he makes that a prosecutor can use to impeach him with if he ever decides to testify.
End up with all these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there bored. And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out.
So I got all these chicks. They're in love with me. They don't go out. They're not allowed out. Restricting somebody of their movement is part of force, fraud, or coercion.
You stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You know, no restaurant, no club, no.
Do you get to eat? Do you get to take a shit? When you start controlling somebody like that, that is the crux of you come.
Bruh, I really think he's talking tongue. Right? He's talking shit because people are listening to him.
Here on a promise.
Why do people think, like, granted, obviously there's some people who claim they're witnesses or they're victims, but like, when I listen to that, and they'll try to shame me, be like, oh, you used to like listen to Andrew Tate. Bro, when I'm listening to Andrew Tate, bro, that nigga is a comic to me, bro. Nigga, after I listened to, what's that nigga name? Charleston White. I told Charleston, I said, Charleston, you gotta do stand-up. Ask Charleston White, who's the first nigga who told him to do stand-up. Akademiks. Facts. Go ask him. Bro, because sometimes, like, a nigga's just kind of doing the most, whatever, and like, come on, bro. It's just for a laugh.
Nah, yeah, but again, just like rappers do, a lot of characters who want to be entertainers of this ilk, they tend to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if your background has bullshit in it that is,
I agree with you with that.
you know what I'm saying? Like what we saying here. Like it's like nigga, you the one hopped out the window and want to talk all this extra shit, but at the same time talking about how you fuck with corruption. That don't sound like a smart thing to be doing.
No, you got some points right here.
But when
Hold
you
on.
get here for right,
Hold on. Here we go, real quick.
that you're gonna have for somebody that has multiple citizenship is whether they're a risk of flight or not.
If I fuck up, England wants me in jail, I can fly on a Nigerian passport, or an American, or an English. I have so many passports. Are you gonna block them all?
He's got so much content that's out there that it just flouts any notion that he's not a flight risk.
So anyway, Andrew Tate had this guy. So this guy right here, Andrew Tate, gave access to his like lair. And the dude was even on one of his emergency meetings. I remember watching this guy. I'm like, yo, who's this guy? And Andrew was like, oh, Vice is doing a documentary on me. This is why, if you're wondering why I went off on Rolling Stones when they even reached out to me, is like, bro, niggas ain't doing some documentary on you to just show you love, bro. If they're trying to like do that type of shit, they're trying to take you down. And Andrew Tate welcomed homie into like his crib in this and third, and he eventually gave the dude a one-on-one interview. And Vice now randomly put out a excerpt to the video. This is an excerpt to the interview of them questioning Andrew Tate. Here we goes.
I sent it
There's a
to
whole
you
bunch
on
of
your
clips.
DM, Act.
You guys send on Discord, please.
All right, I'm about to send it right now. I just sent it.
Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Here we go. Thank you. Matter of fact, I'll just play this because I don't want to play the other shit anyway. All right, let me just play this.
Now guys, Vice have obviously released recently a segment on Andrew Tate of a woman speaking out, but they've removed the comments on this video because the insane amount of backlash. Now, the woman spoke about this who works for Vice, but first we'll play a clip of them being exposed for changing clips in the video.
It's a consistent leading question, a consistent narrative. Where's the question about the good he's doing for men? Well, there's a very clear narrative. I need to leave.
Here we go. Y'all can see this?
Clips that portray you in a negative light also help the algorithm to make you become more famous and more viral.
I'm not an expert on algorithms for social media platforms. I do not have most of them installed on my phone. I cannot control what a 15-year-old Singaporean decides to do when he chops me up and calls me names. I can't control that, and I wouldn't try to.
When you search for your name in Google, one of the associated... Why then have the Romanian police said the investigation is ongoing?
I'm not sure where you got that information from. I'm not sure who said it. Is there some kind of procedure that must be completed? I don't know.
There has been a lot of bad press about you.
He says the same reaction made by Tate was used twice to make him appear frustrated. Let's look at the clips again.
And I wouldn't try to.
When you search for your name in Google, one of the associated...
Procedure that must be completed? I don't know.
There has been a lot of bad press about you. When you search for your name in Google, one of the associated... There has been a lot of bad press about you.
So Vice are falsifying this documentary to portray Tate negative. I mean, I definitely think they're trying to portray him negatively. I don't know if they're falsifying it, though. Let me keep watching, though. The banning of comments, removal of videos, reuse of clips. See, that's the thing. Vice should put out a unedited interview. This is why I was wondering why Tate was talking to Vice. You see, when I did an interview, with Andrew Tate, what y'all saw is exactly what we recorded. Like, bro, yo, I just did an interview with Kyle from the Nelt Boys. I just did an interview also, a new interview with Sneeko. Bro, there's not one edit. And matter of fact, like with Kyle, I sent him the video today. I said, hey, look at it. 0 edits. It's the rawest video possible. Because I really intend to do no edits. You get what I mean?
Nah, yeah, I think Andrew Tate probably did that on purpose to get ahead of, like, to use it as a ploy to turn around and do this. Kind of like 1090 Jake was saying earlier about, like, if somebody paid me for something later on, they could turn around and be like, look, I paid him and he did exactly what I told him to do, type shit, to fuck up the credibility. So I think he might have did this on purpose to be like, oh, they're out to get me. You know what I'm saying? There's also an angle.
Nah, it might be. Hold on, let me keep listening.
But again, it's like we can do all this after the fact, and oh, bro, he said what he said, and he shouldn't have said it.
Nah, bro, but they can't use two of the same clips in the edit, bro.
Yeah,
they
bro,
can't
no,
do
hold
that.
on. Yeah,
Again,
here's
bro,
well, what this is bringing out to me is like maybe a question that y'all are asking to the camera that people are seeing, you didn't ask to him. You know what I mean? Because I remember saying, how did y'all know that the Romanian government was investigating them or it was ongoing? Now, we know that right now, but if y'all went months ago, why wouldn't y'all print that if y'all knew that if the Romanian government is saying, oh yeah, we're still investigating them? Bro, he said any investigation that ever came up for him wasn't when he was in Romania. And he also said that when he was talking about the whole police raided him there, he said it was a swatting and basically it wasn't ongoing ongoing investigation. Like, so what the fuck? Let me keep playing.
This story broke last night. Andrew Tate was arrested in the UK in 20, and there really is a lot of details had learned that the PPS who you need to get in touch with.
This ain't same shit. Yeah, but this was misleading. I ain't gonna lie. They said they're dropping. They said this clip is coming from a special report on January 12th. Here's the thing. Just drop the interview uncut.
Drops be completed. I don't know.
There has been.
You see, these cuts are like so convenient because you don't see both of them in the same spot, and also his background is different from Tate's background.
A lot of bad press about you.
Is the audio the same?
Say again?
Is the audio the same?
Well, we don't know if the sequence of audio is the same though. Like imagine I chopped up this conversation with me and you, right? And I made it where I asked questions and then you said dumb shit, and I'm like, yo, this thing is an idiot. You get what I mean?
No, I understand that part completely. But what I'm saying is, if the audio, like, because they only play one clip, right? It's a 30-minute interview, right? So if they played a 30-minute interview, right? My thinking is, okay, you got a 30-minute interview. Even if I added in clips of me switching from the interviewer to you, if the audio is the same, the audio is the same. Now, if you're nitpicking, edit,
but if you're answering questions that I didn't ask you, or you're saying things supposedly in context, but I'm taking it out of context because that wasn't the context you were asked in, bro, that's dishonest.
Yeah, they falsifying that shit.
I'm asking, is the audio the same? Because from the
we don't know though.
We don't know yet. They just put out a 2-minute clip that's like a preview type shit.
Okay.
Hold on, yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this where they claim it's incriminating. And by the way, these are old ass clips. It gotta be from like 2018 or something like that.
I had about 5 girlfriends, all smoking hot. And females are an asset. Attractive females are absolutely an asset. And if you disagree with me, walk in the club with 10 blondes and you'll see who the most important guy in the club is. Fuck the champagne shows.
Who the fuck cares who the most important guy in the club is? The most insecure guy in the club, it's important to that guy.
Well, you see, this is where I kind of lose off of what Bruce Rivers is saying, because, you know, he's a lawyer, so like he's looking at it from one angle. Like, there is a realm of male and female dynamic, and obviously he doesn't care because he's looking at it from a criminal perspective. He doesn't care about a dynamic in a club. But for anybody who goes to the club, the difference between the guy who spends his fucking whole paycheck trying to make a moment is honestly sometimes just ego and also trying to be someone. So like that environment definitely does count. You know what I mean? Again, maybe not in the grand scheme of things, but like it matters for those people who are there a lot.
But it should never be important to you to be the most important guy in the club. What should be important to you is the people around you having their respect, but having their respect because, not because you're walking in there with 12 blondes.
I've walked into a club with 10 girls, and there's guys next to me doing champagne shows. Is anyone looking at their table or my table? No one gives a fuck about their table. Pussy is the most important driving force of this planet. Pussy is the only reason that empires were started and wars were waged. It's the only reason all you guys are out there are even interested in having money. If there was no pussy about, you wouldn't care about having money. You'd say, oh, I'll have a little bit of money and I'll just play chess all day. I don't care, I'll play video games. The only reason we want cars and clothes and six-packs and houses and shit is for girls.
That is so simplistic.
Girls are the driving force.
That's so true. No. Tate's right, my nigga. Fuck what this nigga's talking about.
So when I realized that,
like obviously you could get deeper, right? I get what he's saying, simplistic. You get deeper, like, well, but, bruh,
you gotta procreate.
Women, like, listen, if we really boil it down to like our really natural instincts, men, it's like peacocks. Peacocks put on a show to try to attract a mate. Men do too. Hey, look at my car, look at my six-pack, look at this, look at my house. You try to do what you can, like, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
All these assets, I had to find a way to monetize the assets.
Now remember, the assets, are something you own. He's got 5 women that he believes are his assets. Now he's going to make money off them.
I knew some street pimps. I've known them for a long time. Straight street pimping is a completely... In fact, no, it's not a completely different game. The psychological aspect is the same.
So, now, I'm not taking things out of context. He's saying the psychological aspect of what he's going to be doing is the exact same psychological aspect of street pimping, and that is control.
Of what we're going to do. The skill I'm going to...
I ain't gonna lie. This is where it starts getting a little bit dicey, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Teach you is exactly the same. I could easily translate mine to a street business, and you could easily street pimp with the things I'm going to teach you. But I didn't want no one else fucking my girl. That's the truth. My girls. I want to fuck my girls. I want some other guy fucking my girls. What the fuck's the point in that? So, long story short, blah, 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 blah. Discovered webcam and went from there. Flew all 5 girls in at once. Sat them all down. So I've been going out with all of you. Here's the truth. Starting a business, you want to make money or not. 2 decided to stay. 3 started crying, got back on the plane. Because they're all different places in the world. I had them from when I was fighting. So I went and fought in Slovakia, I've got a girlfriend. Went and fought in France, got a girlfriend. Went and fought, so I had all the girls around the world. So I told them all to fly in, sat them all down together. They're like, who the fuck are all these other girls? I was like, okay, truth time. Bang.
All these other girls probably think they're exclusive before they come to him, right? And now all of a sudden he lays the truth down on them. What is that's deception from the very beginning. His words, not mine.
I'm a G. I'm fucking you all.
I'm a G.
I'm gonna start a business. You're all gonna
He's a
live
G
here.
though.
3 got back on the plane. 2 decided to stay. 2 weeks later, 1 left, and so I was left with 1. But starting with 1 is good. But those 2 weeks, I fucked them together a few times.
The G, as he calls himself, started with 5. Now he's down to 1. How much respect would you have for the 1 girl that's still standing there? The 4 girls, thank God that they had the sense. But really, who is the bigger man? Is the bigger man that's the fucking poser who walks into a club with 12 girls? Or is the bigger man who is the honorable guy who stands by his family, raises a family, has a decent job, goes to work every day, is solid? I'd rather go to a pub than a club any day. When you are that guy, not the G, but when you are a solid guy where you're there for your family, you're not trying to manipulate anybody, and you're a provider for your family, and you are a solid, straight guy, that's the G. That's the person who's the real man.
Your goal is to inspire a girl to make money and give you the money.
Your goal is to rip her off. That's really what he's telling you. Those are his words. I'm not taking anything out of context. We're not chopping this up. This is his little seminar that he was pitching to all these guys out there who think he's got something to offer.
So the way you're going to do that is you have to have some element of influence, and you're going to have that element of influence through her respecting you, looking up to you, and her believing she needs you.
Now that is a critical thing. The old pimps, what they would do is they'd find some young girl at the bus station. This is an old school kind of thing, or at the mall or whatever. And they shower them with gifts, and then they think they're the best, and these are chicks that don't have any self-esteem whatsoever. And then they start working for them, and then but it's a slow process. But it's a slow process of mind control and physical control with money, control with emotions, and actual physical control.
And this is extremely important, because at the beginning she will need you, but then she won't need you. But you have to keep that fallacy, keep that dream alive.
Fallacy, that's his word. His word. Not taking this out of context. So she'll need you at first, but then she won't. But you have to keep her convinced that she does need you. That's how you control. That's the control part. And it is a fallacy. And what is fallacy? Fraud.
She can't do this without you, to ensure that she doesn't do it without you. So this is what screen share is all about. Effectively, this is the way the business works. The girl sits on the camera. Now, when the girl is on camera, and you would have seen from my promotional video, that was at the height of my webcam empire. The blonde in that video I'm still with now. You'll see from there how we explain that there's people typing or pretending to be the girl 24 hours a day. So it hasn't got to be 24.
That part, I suppose, is fine in terms of a business model, but it's fraud. I mean, he's the one typing, and so you think you're getting all excited by something she's saying, and here you're really communicating with Andrew Tate.
But that method is very important for two reasons. First, let me explain how it works. Listen up, motherfuckers. So the girl's on the webcam. She's sitting here. When a girl is on camera, she has a public room, which people will visit, and they will spend money in and talk shit.
And when you think about it, the people that he's appealing to on these webcams are just a bunch of really lonely guys, and there's a ton of them out there.
It is your job to train the girl to talk to and interact with that public room as much as possible. So when people come in the room and say, oh, hey, how are you? She's like, they type. The men type, hey, how are you? It comes in the box. She goes, oh, hey, I'm fine, thank you. And she has to make sure her public room is engaging and interesting as much as possible to keep people in the room. Now, while the public...
So there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with what he's actually doing. It's the nature of how he's getting the girls there and keeping them there.
She can also receive private messages. And all those private messages you are going to reply to. And you're going to reply to them via screen share on a computer in a different room. As long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network, you're having more conversations with men than a girl could ever have on her own. Because she's too busy on her own. She's overwhelmed. She can't talk to all these people. So some guys you have to negotiate with, some guys you have to do a deal with, some guys whatever. You can do all that shit. But even more importantly, it makes the girl believe that she can't do it without you.
That's a recurring theme, that she can't do it without you. She is reliant on you. She needs you. And why is that important? Because if she thinks she can do it on her own, guess what? She does it on her own, and you've lost your profit center. That's what he's talking about. That's why the control is such an important aspect of what he does.
At the beginning, she can, but there'll become a point she can't. But you being here, it synergizes this teamwork energy. We're going to do this together. Yeah, you go on the camera. Don't worry, I'll talk to the guys. I'm going to talk to them. We're a team. Happy, positive teamwork. There's no negative energy in this business. You have to be positive. So by you typing for the girl, you maximize your money, and also she believes she needs you, which is extremely important. Later on down the line, I got to the point where I'd hired typers. So I didn't have to type. So I'd hired girls to sit and type and pretend to be the girls. So I had girls online. I had an office full of girls pretending to type. So I had 4 typers, 20 girls online, for example. Another reason we use Chatterbait is because they will pay you in Bitcoin.
This is another critical part of what he does, and that may impact a criminal prosecution of him later. And if you recall at the beginning of this video, he talked about not wanting to own property because he didn't want to pay taxes. And him not paying taxes is a recurring theme. And so if he's avoiding taxes, you can't avoid taxes with Bitcoin. I mean, you still owe the money. If you're making money, it's income, you have income taxes. Just because you're paid in Bitcoin doesn't mean that you don't owe the taxes. So let's continue.
They'll pay you in Bitcoin. You put in your Bitcoin address and they'll pay you in Bitcoin. And this is amazing because you've all seen the thought audit shit that's going on. You've all seen the fucking legalities of banking. Trying to get money out of these sites into your bank without paying a shitload of tax is actually very difficult.
See, it's that whole avoiding taxes. And it's not legal to do that. It's not legal to not pay your taxes.
And that was going to be about an hour segment of this fucking thing. But we don't need to do that anymore because in the last 6 months, ChatterBait have released a Bitcoin option. So they'll pay you in Bitcoin. So if your girl on there working, let's say you generate $3,000-$4,000, bang, you get Bitcoin into your wallet. Done. No fucking tax, no fault audit, none of that shit. And I had a separate phone with all my girls' guys in that phone, and I kept control of it. And I would speak to them, and before she went online, I would tell her like any basic information. You don't let your girl have this, because if your girl ever runs off and leaves you, which is going to happen to some of you at least, you don't want her to have an address book of all the guys she can get money from.
Another aspect of control. You don't want her to have your client list, because if she has your client list, she can leave you. So you've got to restrict her information. So it's systematic, and it's a systematic method of control to control these women. Now,
yo, chat, I know somebody ain't say that this nigga's this nigga say, yo, this is the ARAB of the human trafficking. Yo, stop playing with my boy, man. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. Stop playing with my boy Andrew Tate, man. Y'all niggas ain't gonna talk about him like that. I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. Stop playing with him, man. He ain't no motherfucking ARAB or no human trafficking, bro. Y'all really tweaking right now, bro. Y'all really tweaking right now, bro. Y'all really tweaking right now, acting like my boy. Like, stop it, bro.
I got a question.
Yo, Mo, I see you on YouTube. Stop. This ain't funny, bro. Yo, backspace. Listen, man. Yo, backspace that thought of yours. There's nothing funny about this, bro. My man definitely, he's definitely not. Yo, do y'all remember what that nigga ARAB did? Yo, you remember that nigga? That nigga say, yo. He said, this is the realest rapper right here. He said when he shot a nigga and he killed him, he said, you know the crazy thing is, I seen him do it. I seen him do it. Bro, nah, Tate not doing that, bro. Stop it. Stop it.
Is Andrew Tate a victim of rap music? Like,
Nah. What you mean?
Everything he doing sound like a superhero rapper.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I think Andrew Tate just a pimp. Like, let me flush it out. Bro, he know how to talk to people. He know how to sweet talk people. I think that's always been his gift. And then I think he started with women, trying to get them to like be a part of his like webcam company. Then he realized he could talk to incels the same way, bro. You get what I mean?
No, I hear you.
He has a way of convincing people. That's just how it is. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the motherfucker funny is a motherfucker, bro. I like Andrew Tate, bro.
I think there's a reason why people think he's funny, and I understand a lot of stuff he's saying. But
do you fuck with him?
I wouldn't say I fuck with him all the way. I hear what he's saying, but I think he a weird dude. But
why? Why do you think he's weird?
Because essentially what he's saying is, right, he's like the weird guy on a girl's phone who's like, yeah, he kind of helps me get money. Like, he talks to these guys for me because I don't really feel like talking. So he says all like the sexual stuff to them, and I don't have to do anything.
Yeah. It's interesting in saying that. There's so many people now that's their business model where they have contracts with women too, that all they do is they talk to the men for the women.
But yo, I ain't gonna lie though. Like, if that's the case, I feel like I got a case on a couple women because I've been manipulated too. Like, on some G shit. I've been manipulated.
Man.
I feel obligated to buy bundles and nails and all that shit. Honestly.
What's his name talking about, bro?
Man, this nigga chatting, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. This my man's though.
This nigga said I gotta.